All right. Hopefully we got some. We have volume. Look at that. We did it right today. Good morning, all. Welcome to the Coffee Run with John from Pro Craps on Casino Gaming TV. I shared with you this morning, instead of my normal little coffee brewing movie thing, a picture of the Wenatchee apple blossoms, and I do that not just because I'm loving the view or anything like that, but you should know we dodged a bullet this week. Everybody should be super happy that I'm showing those pictures because about this time of year, the apple trees go into blossom mode, as the pictures kind of show. They're really cool. They're really white, and you don't realize how many orchards are here in town until you drive around and there's freaking apple blossoms everywhere. There's trees. It's amazing, right? But we dodged a huge bullet because we were supposed to get like a cold snap this week. Monday and Tuesday were supposed to be in the 20s overnight, which, if you don't know, this is the time, right? If those trees freeze up, if we catch a frost, it'll kill everything. No apples. It'll ruin the peach crop. It'll ruin the cherry crop that's coming later on. Apples would have been like eggs if that cold snap had come through. Apples would have been priced out like eggs. They would have been so hard to find. They would have been double or triple in price. Same with cherries. It would have been horrible. We got lucky, and the weather didn't get as low. It was in the upper 30s instead of the upper 20s. So we didn't get the frost. Apples are okay, and we're not going to have a apple recession like we had with the freaking eggs. So that was like, it's funny. Like, I don't really realize that stuff, right? Over in Seattle, we don't care, right? We just whatever. Oh, it got cold Wenatchee. So what? When you live here, you're like, oh my God, like everybody's like on pins and needles going, please, 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 please don't get below 30. And luckily it didn't happen. Anyway, I thought I would share that with you. And before we do our YOLO, make sure everybody goes to I want you all to go to the Hawaii Crap Shooters, either their live stream today or go to Facebook to their Facebook page. It's Brian from Hawaii Crap Shooters' birthday today. So everybody gets to go embarrass him and tell Brian, happy birthday. We should just flood him with birthday messages. So, all right, let's get to it. Let's go to our YOLO. I got to change the view here for y'all so you can see what's going on, but let's go over here. Let me get how about some lights? What do you think? So the YOLO, now we were doing good. We won like 10 in a row, right? And then we burned it. We burned we didn't go 11-0, we burned, and that sucked. And then because I made a dumb decision, and then we restarted yesterday and literally PSO'd ourselves out. So here we go again. Brand new bankroll. Now it says starting bankroll 64. I'm going to change it to 68. My bad. It'll be $68. There's the $68. Okay. And what we're going to do, I'm going to walk around and we'll put the bets out there. The $68 is going to be 64 across plus a $4 horn. So we're going to make sure we have everything covered. We'll burn the $4. It's okay. The first couple of days of this thing kind of suck as we're getting ourselves out of the gate, but I'll put the bet here on the C&E, but it's actually a horn bet, okay? And there's our spread to get started here. We'll do one roll. Who cares about the puck? Actually, put it down over here. And yeah, one roll. Let's get it kicked off today. We'll hopefully win $15 and be able to press up a little bit for tomorrow. Again, it takes the first 2 or 3 of these things kind of suck. It's better to start this thing off at 160 across than 64, but we're going to slow roll it. All right, here we go. Let me get the... where's the view? Let's go to the throwing angle. All right, now you can see me setting them here. There's a 6-3, there's a 4-1, and let's go. Let's avoid big nasty again today, shall we? Otherwise, it'd be 3 days in a row. Here we go. Beautiful throw. It's an 8, 6-2, 8, easy 8. There it is. I'll push it up into the viewing area. There's a 6-2-8. Now, what'll happen here is we only win $10 effectively. We lose the 4 from the horn, but we're going to win a couple of reds and $14 on the 8. So what'll happen tomorrow, most likely, is I'll press the 6 and the 8 by 6 each, and I'll put a $2 any craps out there. And that's how we'll do that. So we'll use the change in the horn area best we can. So now we're back to 1-0. We got some extra bankroll, and we're going to roll this thing out. Again, it takes a hot minute. We went 10-0 last time, and going 10-0, we only got the $500, right? But once you get past 11, 12, 13, 14 days in a row of it working, it becomes 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 really quick. Those bets really do supercharge things up. So, yeah, there it is. Let's put that back up in the rack, and we'll get our regular show going. There it is. That's the wrong rack. Let's show you the right rack. How about that one? There we go. There's our now $78. Okay, let's get to it. Couple of things. Let's the camera come on over here. I hope you enjoyed last night, by the way. John never puts a puck where it belongs in the don't come. I just get out of my way, but yeah, it should be in the don't come. All right, here we go. Let's see, 10-0 with only 64 back to the rail, right? Well, again, the YOLO, Dan, is a greedy eye strategy. It is like, let's take $64 as far as we can take it, right? And at some point, the win is enough, right? At some point, you can decide. We had $500, which was great. To turn 64 into 1,000, or like I've done in Vegas, I turned 64 into 1,500 the one time. It's super cool to get there, right? You start getting sweaty though, right? When you're going 1,500 across from $64, like, God, what a waste of money this is, right? It's fun. Who cares, right? It's a good little hinky side bet that we can play on. Anyway, couple things on the docket this morning. One, let's see, we're going to get to here. That was the YOLO. I got to change that screen, by the way. Is that we got to make sure we remind ourselves all the important stuff, right? Before I start actually playing today. Goals, bankroll, strategy, risk. I say it every single day. Goals, bankroll, strategy, risk. They got to play together, right? You got to have a goal, right? You got the bankroll that supports the strategy you want to play to hit the goal. And if you're averse to risk, you got to play grindy. If you like risk, you can go a little bigger, right? You can hit a goal by going big Dallas drawdown if you don't mind the risk, right? If you don't have the bankroll, you can't do it. If you don't like risk, you can't do it. If you enjoy those things, fine. If not, play the horseman and grind it out. You got to figure out the way to marry that stuff together, okay? A key part of all this stuff is identifying opportunity. And that could come in two ways. One, opportunity to lean into a roll, right? Or a set of spins or a shoe, or to walk away. Either way, okay? Obviously, mindset and discipline are important things. Now, the next seminar, Jen's asking, how long is the seminar? It's an hour. So we're going to do, basically the live bridge is a 5-hour thing, right? We do 4 hours of lecture and an hour on the tables, and then we go to the casino, right? When you're in, we go back to the other screen here. When you're in Vegas with us for the bridge, that's how that works. In the virtual version, we're going to break that 5 hours up into 5-hour sessions. So 1 hour every Monday, basically. So we'll start, we'll do like an hour, me and David together kind of thing on Monday night. So it'll be 5 in a row. That's how it's going to work. So it's a little easier from a time perspective, and we'll record the session. So if you, let's say that you want to do it, right, but you can't, you're on the cruise ship. They're 25 hours a session, or I think it's $100 for all 5, something like that. If you sign up for it, great. You can click that you want to go to that webinar and you're good. If you can't make it, we record the session so you can come back and watch the recording. So it'll always be there for you. It's like we're doing it like a school, like an online school. So as we give the sessions and lectures, they get recorded. And if you've bought into the curriculum, you always have access to it. And actually, if we do it a second time or a third time, you have all 3 of them. So you can see 3 different versions of the same like seminar day to kind of get the messaging. So that's how it's going to work. It should say the bridge seminar May 5th. Oh, the crawl says that I got to change the crawl. Okay, it's Monday the 5th is when it's going to be. So, all right. So we did duo versus player last night, and I got a badge of honor. David said I was too aggressive. That was awesome to hear. The funny thing is, what I find interesting, and I've talked to David about this a number of times, right? The triple Lux that he loves to play, super aggressive, right? It's a power press, collect, right? Power press, collect is how the triple Lux works. And he touts that all the time. I did that on the 4 and 10. I basically sister pressed, collected. He's like, oh my God, you're waiting too long to collect your money. I'm like, it's the same thing as the triple Lux. There's no difference, right? The 5 and 9, it's a power press and a collect and then a regression. The 6 and 8 is just kind of always marching forward. It is an aggressive way to play. The Philly special is a very aggressive way to play. when you're even, right? And when it works out, it's great. Anything that you're pressing and waiting for the roll to kind of keep going, it's gonna feel like you're a knucklehead because you got so much out there, nothing in the rack. But as soon as the next level of hit starts to come, once the 9 is at $100, now you're bringing back 2 blacks every time, right? Once you cross that one line where you are bringing back an extra level of chip, then the whole game changes, right? The game sucks as you're grinding up those first sets of presses. Once the presses start to pay off, then you're going, now we have opportunity. But opportunity is only there in the early stages, right? And it's hard to get that traction on it, right? Yeah, he doesn't like sister pressing. David likes to hammer the one number, you know what I mean? And it's fine. I think it was a fun show anyway, and we're going to keep on doing it, right? Next week, I'm going to show him what I'm going to show you today. We're going to go back to we're going to go backwards in time a little bit today. I'm calling this Throwback Thursday. I'm going to do an old strategy that I've done some internal thinking on, and I've kind of changed a little bit. So we're going to go to a new thing. Ian, am I buying? Oh yeah, I got my Double Do shirt on today. And I should let you know, I mean, not that you guys care or anything, right? This is a great shirt, by the way, and there it is. Let's see. When I pressed the 4 and 10 to 200, it was too aggressive. Well, again, it's the pattern, right? The pattern is press, collect, press, collect. So it was, remember, we started at $10, right? So it's 10 to 20, 20 to 40, collect the 80. Now we're out there at 50. Press to 100, collect, press to 200. The next one is the collect. So you follow the pattern. I like things like that because even though it feels aggressive and silly, it's pattern recognition. You go, I just know what I'm doing. You're kind of on autopilot. It's always 2 presses in a collect on the 4 and 10. It makes it easy to remember. And like I like to be able to not screw up. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, I've been going to the gym. I'm super tired, by the way. I started going to the gym this week again after a couple of years not going. I did collect, Jen. You maybe missed it. We went 20 to 40, 10 to 20, 20 to 40, 40, collected the $80, and then we restarted. And then we went press to 100, press to 200, and then we just didn't get the 6th hit. No, I went press, collect, press, collect. I think we went from press, collect, and I had him go to $50 to make it an easier bet for him to handle. But yeah, it was 2 presses and a collect. If we did that wrong, then it was wrong. But it should be press, collect. I got the $80 out of it. Anyway, you can say nope all you want. I have to go watch it again because that was the intent. We did 20, 10 to 20, 20 to 40. I collected the 80, right? And we had $40 out there, and I said to him, why don't you make them both look like 50 to make it easier? So we did a little tiny press there to make the bets easier, but I think we did collect the $80. Well, I'll double check. It doesn't matter. I'll double check if I'm sure we did that. If we didn't do that, then it was a mistake. I would never have gone 4 presses before I collected it. You're talking at the top. Okay, I'll have to come back and rewind that because I can't. I might have missed the chat in there. Anyway, yeah, I've been working out, so I'm super tired. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go to the gym before the show now. So that means a couple things. We're going to change some stuff on the show here. One, we're going to move the show probably in May, maybe the 1st of May, maybe the end of May. I'm not sure when yet, to 8 o'clock in the morning instead of 7 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. So a delay of 1 hour. The reason for that is twofold. One is it gets hot, right? So this is TMI, right? But I have to walk my dogs every day. They're high energy dogs. And when it gets into the 90s and the 100s, you can't walk them, right? It's too hot. The pavement's too hot. So we got to walk them either before 9 o'clock in the morning or at 10 o'clock at night. So I decided to go to the gym at 5, come back by 6, walk the dogs for an hour, shower, and then do the show at 8 o'clock. So it's going to be a little bit better rhythm for my personal life. So that's why we're going to go to 8. Potentially, we're going to go ahead and move it to Casino Quest's channel. So it won't be on CGTV anymore. We're going to go with this show, same everything, just going to move it to their channel. We'll get a bigger audience. So as long as you're subscribed there and having notifications turned on, you're going to be good. So it'll be 8 o'clock in the morning on the Casino Quest channel, probably starting sometime in May or June before it gets too hot. All right, that's how it's going to be. And your reminder again, Craps Chat Sunday with Jen. Maybe we and Jen can duke it out on the Craps Chat. But yeah, Jen and Chris and Craig and Dylan and maybe a guest, we'll see. On Sunday the 27th, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Jen and Dylan, one more Craps Chat after this one. This would be episode 14. Episode 15 would be the 2 weeks following, mid-May, right before Brownwater Bash. And then we're going to cut it off and we'll do our next, Craps Chat will take a hiatus until the fall. And we'll kick off the new season of Craps Chat at Craps with the Cure. I think that's our plan. This one and one more, I think. And of course, the bridge on May 5th. All right, let's jump into Throwback Thursday. And Dylan reminded me of this last night. Because he was saying in chat, oh, that's tier pressure. Like, that's not tier pressure. What I was doing last night was Philly Special. It was more of the aggressive pressing. Tier pressure was one I put out a couple years ago. And there's a lot of things not to like about tier pressure, the original tier pressure. It's a lot of stroking for the dealers. It was kind of a hard thing to deal. It makes a lot of money, but it's kind of a pain in the ass. And I left the money out there a little too long on it. So we're going to do tier pressure version 2. So I'm going to reverse back, throw back to tier pressure, but I'm going to do V2. It's very simple. I'm going to combine two things. We're going to do a little drawdown. We're going to go from 440 inside. We're going to draw it down twice. So 440, take a hit, hopefully. Go to 330. Take a hit, hopefully, go to 270, or 220 rather, and take the third hit. So it's a 3-hit Dallas drawdown, 440 to 330 to 220, and we stay there at 220, okay? And that's phase 1, right? Phase 1 is just the drawdown. From that point forward, what you're gonna do is take 3 hits, and every 3 hits, you're gonna press the inside. Not like every single time. So from 220, we're going to take 70, 70, 70. Then we're going to press the insides to 330. Then we're going to take 105, 105, 105. Same bet, same bet, same bet. Collect, collect, collect. After the third hit, press by 110. Go to 440. Take 140, 140, 140. Press by 110. Go to 550. Take 175, 175. You follow my pattern? Every 3 hits, same bet, same bet, same bet. Go up by 110. So we're gonna pressure the middle, the insides by 110 every 3 hits. That's the plan. So the roll goes nice and long. You'll have every 3 hits, you're gonna get another new level. It's easy for the dealers. It's a 110 press, 110 press, 110. You're not doing all kind of crazy nothing. It's just a simple little press, and it's always collecting. So it's 3 collections, not 3 presses. Tier pressure used to be press, 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 and then regress down. Pain in the ass. We're going to keep it at level now. So same bet, same bet, same bet, press the inside. That's how it's going to be. If you want to play the 4 and 10, fine. Go 440 inside, put a quarter on the 4 and 10, do whatever you want to. If you want to have no FOMO, play them a little bit, do what you want to with the 4 and 10. That's not part of the system. I will probably play the 4 and 10 today because I like to, but the tier pressure way is just going to be inside 110 presses every 3 hits. That's simple. Easy on the dealer. Right? It's always collecting. And basically every time it works, you get your money back, right? So if you're going to go 220 on the inside, you go 70, 70, 70, it's 210, right? It basically wins itself back. And then you're going to put 110 back out there so you net $100, right? When you're at 330, it goes 105, 105, 105. So it brings back 315, which is what you had out there. You put $110 out there, you're still bringing back 2 blacks. Follow me? Every single time you're bringing back an extra black. So I think it's a good way to kind of slowly progress things up and get it going. So, all right, let's do it. Let's go a little daily paycheck here. So I think right now, as of yesterday, we are 39 and 13, 75% win rate. Okay. I want to be over 80. We won 15K though, since we restarted, right? We started with the 100,000. Remember, we won the 100,000 from 10,000, right? A little bit at a time. Now we're coming out every day from the 100K with 5K. Let me try to win $500. I'm going to stash $300 into that master bankroll to keep on building up. We're going to pocket $100 for expenses, $100 to just fart around with every day. So that's the plan. $500 is the goal. As Ken said yesterday, $300 is the walk. If I'm struggling and we're just like 350 or something, I'm done. We're not going to try and feed anything else. But here we go. I love the fact that we're keeping our wins and losses kind of in lockstep. Now today, might be the kind of day where that doesn't work, right? Where we're going to be tearing up like this today. It could be a possibility that we get burned for $500 a few times in a row and never get out of the gate. That's a big risk. So hopefully we can rock it out. Let me go. I'm going to go show you. We're going to go to the box. I'm going to show you how the system works really quick, and then we'll get rolling out. If you want to play along at Crapsy, I'm going to get Crapsy set up here in just a second too. So I'm going to get the computer open while I walk around the other side, and let's get connected. Let me show you the system on the small box, and then we'll go ahead and roll it out in bigger view. So I'm going to start out with 440 inside, and I'm going to do it with greens. And if I'm doing this in the casino, I would probably ask my dealer, just do it in greens because we're going to regress, and let them know the first time. And they'll be happy to do that for you, especially when it makes it easier for them. So we're 440 in. Again, I'm going to put the 4 and 10 out here, but I really don't care about the 4 and 10. We're gonna play around with those if they happen, but really it's the inside play. So let's take these down just so you can see how the inside play works. The first hit here, right, at 440, these are $100 bets and 120 bets. That's going to pay 140. So $140, okay? And we're going to draw down to 330. So we're going to take $110 off the table. We're going to take one level off of each bet. Now we're at 330 inside. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 90, right? What happens here is this. We're going to start making this look right. So I've got 100, 200. I'll make that a black chip. 225. I got $250 back off the table. I start with 440, right? I got 250 back already. So I'm more than halfway out of the hand, right? Like I talked to you guys about regressing or getting, reducing risk as fast as you can. This is the way to do it. Now here, we get paid 105. On the second hit, I'll mark the hits, right? There's hit number 1, hit number 2. It pays 105. And again, we're going to come down by 1 unit. Now we're at 220 inside, so it's going to be 70 and 50. And if I again color these up, I've got $440 in my rack plus a quarter in profit locked. Locked a quarter in profit after that second hit. That's the Dallas drawdown piece. We're going to take a third hit here for $70. So 50, 60, $70. Okay. Now that is tier 1 is done. Okay. So we've gotten down to 220. We got our money back and we have a little bit of money here to play with. We're going to have to do a little power press to get through this. Okay. I'm going to take 10 and add a quarter and ask for $110 pressure. Okay. This will come back to my rack. Let's just go ahead and make that a green chip. Okay. From this point forward, we're going to go the other direction. 30-30 right here. Now we're back to 330. And what we do here at this level is very simple. We're going to take 3 same bets. At 330 inside, they all pay 105, right? So we're going to take 105, same bet, and same bet. After that third hit, press me by 110, please, on the inside, and I'll take back $205 in profit. Now we're back to 440, and we'll do the same thing. Every 3 hits, it's same bet, go up. We're going to pull back about a third or 2/3 of what's out here every single time. That's the new tier pressure. Okay, so it starts with a drawdown, and then it turns into a little inside pressure, kind of scoped, right? We're going to slow walk it. So it's going to be, it only gets good if it gets good. But if it's bad, it's not going to be awful. We're not going to get burned by a lot. We're always going to have that initial profit. After the first 3 hits, you're in profit forever, and you're kind of doing it on the heels of victory. So here we go. You ready, guys? Let me get Crapsy. I'm gonna press the button in Crapsy so y'all can get going, get your bets in. I'm gonna go ahead and change the screen, and we're gonna go to my betting screen over here. So let's get it on. We're gonna put the puck in the right spot, Dylan. Put it over here in the no-com. I'm gonna take that out of here. I got my $5 grand in the rack. I'm gonna take $500 out of the rack, and we're gonna go again, 440 in to get started. So it'll be 4 units, 4 units, 4 units, and 4 units. Let me get the reds. All right, there's the 440. Now, I'm going to get 60 bucks and change, 50, 60 bucks and change. That's going to go to the 4 and 10. So we're 500 across, but that way. Okay, 440 in, 34 and 10. The 4 and 10, I'll do my sister press thing and if they happen to come, then fantastic. If they don't happen to come, whatever. Right? We're really looking at how does the inside move work for us. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's get the throwing screen up. And it's going to take it a minute for the camera to move. There it is. Okay, hopefully you can see all the bets. Can you see the 10? Can you see the bet on the 10? I think you can. All right, there we go. Yeah, this would have worked. It depends on the shooter, right? Again, it depends on, you got to get 3 hits. So here we go. Let's come out. Let's come out. 6, 3, 4, 1, and let's do her. Okay, coming out. Again, I'm working this new dice set because Bone Tracker told me to. So hopefully this thing produces insides for us. We start out though with magic aces. 1, 1 aces. Take the don'ts, or pay the don't, take the line right there. 1, 1 aces. And we'll get you guys back going. That should be a quick rebet for y'all. Yeah, it's always hard to get 3 hits, right? It's always hard to get 3 hits. You can actually do this from the other one too, right? You can start with something like, I don't know, the duck and cover and end up here, right? As long as you get here or to your 220 or whatever the number you want to start with is, and start the pressure from profit. That's the whole thing. Start the pressuring from profit. Here we go. That is going to be a hard 4. That's a deuces. All right, 2, 2, 4. Roll tracker did not accept my input. There we go. Okay. So aces first, and then the 2, 2. You should see that. All right, here we go. Puck goes to the 4. And let's get it done. Let's get 3 inside hits. If you can't throw 3 inside hits, you're gonna lose, right? That's just kind of the obvious statement here, right? If you're a right side player and you're not getting 3 hits, I know people are saying, "Oh God, you're gonna get burned." If your PSOs are gonna get you on every right side strategy. So here we go. Here we go. Let's just rock the insides if we can. I can't see it. It is a midnight. Look at us rocking the ATS numbers though. We got the extremes. That's good. All right. That is really good. I'm not going to change the camera because it doesn't matter. All righty. 4, 1. Here we go. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3. We're not getting any box numbers at all. That's awesome. 2, 1, 3. So we've hammering the horn right here. Hammering the horn. As we are known to do on this show, right? Aces, ace, deuce, and the 4 already. Here we go. Let's get her. Come on. Box number baby. Box number baby. Come on. That's another one. Oh my gracious. Look at this. Look at this. When you try to demonstrate a strategy and you're not playing like, you know, look at that. How funny. 2, 4, 12, 3, 12. Where's the crapless table when you need it? My goodness. My goodness. What's funny, Dan, about that too, this set here, the other set was like a 3V kind of a set. This one's kind of a 2V sort of set. But yeah, there's there's horn numbers all around the outside of this thing. If you look at the way the dice are, if they're not landing right, there's horn numbers everywhere. So here we go. 3-3, hard 6. That's finally an inside number. Good gravy. You get paid on a 6, a 3-3. Wow. Okay. Let's get her done. So that's going to pay 140. It's 125. Come on, Johnny. Ugh. All right, there's the 140. Again, we're going to take them all down by 1 unit. Just the insides, of course, right? So I'm going to color up as I go. That's 125. So here comes 250 back to the house. All righty. Here we go. Dice are out. It's an 8, 5-3. Good looking toss. Good looking toss. It's a 3-5 or a 5-3? 5-3. 8, easy 8. No field 8. Okay, so the 8, again, I'll change. You can just watch the bets here. So the 8 pays again, 105, $105. And once again, we're going to bring down the insides by 1 unit each. Now we're at 220 inside. And again, I will take the greens as a black. Bring that home. Okay, now in the rack, I've got my money back. There's $440 plus the quarter. So I've got a quarter in profit. The 4 and 10 notwithstanding, I've got a quarter in profit from the inside play, right? I need the hit at this level, and then we'll go up. So the third hit brings us to the next level. If we don't get the third hit, then technically speaking, we would be out of the hand, right? If I didn't have the 4 and 10 out there, we would have had our money back. So in 2 rolls, you're out of the hand with profit. Again, I'm burning an extra $60 in the 4 and 10 because I feel like it, right? But the core of the strategy is working here on the inside. So we're okay. We're in okay shape as it is now. If we can extend the roll, we'll see how the tiering works. And again, it's basically a big old leverage play. It's all that it is. We're just leveraging up the wins. I'm just trying to make sure that we're bringing money back to the rack more often than I used to with the old tier pressure. That's why it's a V2. Here we go. Dice are out. That is a 5, I think. Is that what that is? A 4-1? Yeah. It's right in the shadow. So it's a 4 and a 1. There's your 5. All righty. 4-1. That would be the small, folks. Hit the small. That's pretty good. And again, that'll pay $70. Let's go ahead and show you how this works out. So that's going to pay $70, $50, $60, $70, which is awesome. On the 5, we're going to leave our 220 in there. Okay. That's going to be our last hit. So we've got this right here, right? After the third hit, we're going to go ahead and pump it up. So I'm going to drop a quarter. And there's 110. We're going to say, let's go up. Inside's up by 110. Okay? Make the march the other way. And there we go. I'll spread those out again. I know it's hard to see the bets. I'll spread them out so you can see them a little better. And there we are. Back up. Now we're going to go level 2. We got 3 hits level 1, 3 hits at this level. We can start bringing money back with lock up more money. 3 hits, and we'll press it again. But for right now, we're in a really good spot. We're in a really good spot. Here we go. Oh, let me go change the screen. You guys want to watch the landing of these dice. Here we go. Oh my God, where'd that thing go? It's all the way behind the, can you see it? There's the 2. I gotta pull it out from behind the chips. There it is. It's a 5. So 5-2-7. So that was a terrible throw. They kicked and went all over the damn place. 5-2-7. So we basically, on that shooter, tied. It was a tie. So let's take all this out of here. The 4 and 10 did nothing that time. And again, they're only there as a space filler, right? We happen to go with a nice 4 and 10 run. They help us out, right? So, all right, here we go. Let's put that back over here. Actually, I'm going to need this money anyway, so there's 2020. All right, there's the 440. I'm going to take 500 from my rack again. I'll take the $60 and change. That'll go to the 4 and 10. I still have the money from before sitting there, so we're not going to, I'm just going to keep building that thing up. Let's get the bets back out. And again, the 4 and 10 are there just for funsies, just in case. All right, we're back to 440 in. 4 and 10 are in play in case they come. Puck is off. And here we are, new shooter. Next shooter. And again, shooter 1 would have been a tie had I not played the 4 and 10. Again, I'm just extra money out there. The inside play did its thing. So I'm not, they're only there as like my extra bonus bet. Here we go. Coming out. Coming out. Let's get a slightly better run this time. Where's my 4? There it is. Slightly better run we got. Here we go. Did I not collect the 3rd one? I did. Oh no, I went from the 3rd one right up. That was my thing. So yeah, we should maybe collect the 3rd one. And the 4th one go up? I don't know. Oh, not a good throw. It's a 10. 6-4. 6-4, 10. 6-4, 10. All right, let's just flip the puck here. All right, point is 10. Let's go it. Always bet the $20 horn, right? For me, always bet the horn, I guess. All right, this time, let's have all box numbers. No horn. Let's have 10 rolls, but no horns. What do you think? Wouldn't that be nice? Let's do it. Oof. I can't see. The light is shining. It's a 4 and a deuce. 4-2. Oops. Come on. There we go. 4-2. Perhaps he's got it. I don't know why the roll tracker needs to be refreshed like that. That's good. 4-2. All right. And then a 4-2. All right. Everybody's ready. Sorry, I had a data entry problem there. All right, so the 6 will pay the 140. And we're going to come down a unit. Like so. All right, so there's an extra black. There's the extra green. Bring back 250. And we're solid. Let's put these reds over here. All right, that was hit 1. Let's see, 6, 3, 4, 1. And crap, he's ready. Here we go. Sorry, my arms are super tired, man. It's going to the gym thing. It's been a long time. Yeah, I haven't been to the gym in years. And I'm trying to, oh, we got a spinner. It's a 325. Trying to avoid shoulder surgery and knee surgery. I got both are shot. It's a 235, by the way. No field 5, 2-3. And so I'm trying to avoid surgery. So I'm going to the gym to like do all this work, you know, to kind of strengthen muscles around the bad joints and stuff. And yeah, it's not easy being old. All right, 105. Let's take it all down. All right. I bring back another $200. Now we need a hit at this level. Our third hit in the drawdown. And again, I know we're saying that we should take the fourth hit. I'm going to do it without the fourth hit right now. Again, don't let the 4 and 10 bother you. The 4 and 10 took money away from us last time. They're only there as a side bet. Focus on what the inside does. I should probably bring the 4 and 10 down and just not even play them, just to focus on the inside stuff. But one more hit here and we'll be in profit for the shooter on the inside play. Because we already are. We already made our money back. We already have a quarter in profit on the shooter. The next $70 gives us the money to do the third press or the starter press. 4 and 10 are clouding the vision, I think. All right, there is a 9, 6 tray. 6-3 and a 6-3. Okay. That pays $70. $70, 50. I'll do 75 for 5 this time. 75 for 5 since I have the nickels in my rack. And we can drop the 110 for the press. Okay. That third hit pays for, like the third hit, remember you're bringing back 140, 110, or 105 into 70. You have enough money to pay for the press plus still have even in the rack. We may be jumping the gun here, and that's okay. If you know, we can always adjust. But for right now, I'm going to do it the way that we designed it, and then we'll adjust on a later thing once we see how it works out. Let's go. We need to get hits here, right? Last time we died right here. This time, let's not crash and burn at the first tier, right? Let's get some tier 2 wins. That's the whole trick here is getting wins at tier 2. That's what we want. Wins at tier 2. Come on. At least one, right? At least one. One tier 2 win, please. We got one. There it is. 4-2 or 3-2-5. Oh, come on, get out of the corner. 3-2. So we're going to same bet here 3 times. 3-2-5. All right, let's go to the bet screen. And again, this pays 105. We're at this level. That's hit number 1. What I'm going to do here, though, so I don't get confused with myself, I'm going to take these. I can make them green. I'm going to put the hits here. So it's 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits in the rack. I'm going to face them up so I don't forget where I am. Again, we'll take 2 hits. On the third hit, we'll press again. So it's going to be really, effectively, it's 2 collections, and then the press comes, is how that pattern kind of works. And I think we can have the discussion about stretching that out to 3 hits, and then the 4th hit is the press. But it slows the system down, I think. Here we go. Dice is out. Oh, hit the back wall directly. Ugh, not great. 5-4, though, that works. 5-4-9. Good. Oh, I didn't change screens. I'm sorry. That's 105. That's our second hit. The next hit will be 105, and I'll drop the nickel to make the 110. So it's really collect, press. Collect, press. That's kind of the pattern. And I can totally be sold on doing that. Collect, 4th hit go up. I can totally be sold on that as a better way to do it. Yeah, wide open to that possibility. Here we go. That's the 7. Okay, 6-1. Good. We made that extra $100. I feel good about that. 6-1. Not bad. That was 6 box numbers. That was a much better throw than shooter 1 was. Much better than shooter 1. Let's take a look at where we are in the rack. All right, so we burn in here. Did not get the second, and the 4 and 10 have done nothing. But we basically pissed away $120 on the 4 and 10, which is kind of a shame, really. All right, let's put this back up in the bank. Let's do a quick check of the rack and see where we are. I'm looking for $1,000 because we put $1,000 out there. There it is. There's exactly $1,000 in blacks. Okay. Bank rolls back to square, $60 in profit, which again, we burned 120 in the 4 and 10, both shooters, just kind of having fun with it. 60 plus the 120, right? We're 180 in profit, right? We should be at 180, we shouldn't have burned that, but we did. All right, here we go. I'm going to put that back as a black. We're going to go again, 450 out of the rack. Let's take $10 change and we'll put our bets out there. We'll do one more time. 440, we'll do, this will be probably our last shooter here. Maybe one more, we'll see, time-wise. How we're feeling. All right, there's your 440. Let's not do the 4 and 10 this time. Now, you know what's going to happen, right? By not doing the 4 and 10, what's going to happen? Nothing but 4s and 10s are going to come here. Nothing but 4s and 10s are going to happen here. Let's see. I am out of the hand after 3 hits, Jen. This time I won't do the 4 and 10. And let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at where we are. I'm going to put this over here out of the way. Let's take a look at 440 out there. How close we are to getting out of the hand. All right, let's really track it. Puck's off. Let's go. Let's get out. Did I put that in? I did. Let's see, 6. If I don't get the 3 hits this time, we'll fake it just to see where the numbers are. But I'll leave all the money out here so we can actually track it in the field. We'll track it out here so we can all see it. Here we go. 617 on the come out. Come out 7. Not good. Not good. 6-1. And a 6-1 there. Okay. Reset your stuff in Crapsy, and here we go. Oh, 100%, Randy. Here comes all the 4s and 10s. Here they all come. But I think that's distracting where we actually are. At least me anyway. It's making the rack a mess too. So let's just take the 440 as it is and we'll just see what happens. All right. There is a 5 and a 3. That's all right. That is all right. 5, 3. 5, 3. Booyah. Okay. Puck goes to the 8, and let's start the trip. Uh-oh. I got Chris's patch all messed up there. The Sideshow Gamble patch. I moved it with my stick. So, all right, here we go. 6, 3, 4, 1. Oh, not a great throw. Hard 6, but yikes. Yikes, that was not purty. 336. 336. Okay. Let's go ahead and pay it, and I'll leave the money out there as we pay it. That'll pay the 140. So 125, 140. We'll take the level down. Again, drawing it down. That's a black, that's a green. All right, that's hit 1. Yeah, I think we'll be a few bucks off, but I think it's going to be where I want to be. All right, let's go. Waiting for Crapsy to light up. Here we go. Dice out. Dice out. All right. 8. Good. Good, good, good. So far, this set is feeling pretty good. 5-3. Maybe my throw just feels better today. All right, puck's going to be off. That'll hit. Oh, you didn't see the landing. I'm sorry. I didn't lie. Trust me. 105 on the hit. Let's bring it down by 110. That's a black. Whoop. All right, so we're at 440. So we're already out of the hand, right? We're out of the hand as it stands now, okay? The question's going to be, and this is to Jen's point, after the next hit, let's get the next hit and make it a problem. We're going to be close to out of the hand, but not quite out of the hand. I think she's saying it's a $15 difference. We need to decide if that's a big deal or not, right? It comes down to, let's do it. We'll do a. Let me get the number. Let's hopefully make it a thing. I want to get the chips on the table. Then we'll make the call of what to do, right? Here we go. All right, dice are out. Let's do it. We're coming out. New point, hopefully. That's a 5-2-7. Good time for the mistake to happen, right? 5-2. 2 come out sevens. Woo! Bullet dodged right there. Bullet dodged. Okay, 4 and a 1. Come on. Let's catch a point. Let's catch a point. 5, 3, 2. Now here's the throw. We need this one to count. If it does, again, if I 7 out here, we're gonna fudge it. I'm gonna go through the process and make sure that y'all are happy with where we end up, because this is maybe a team effort here. I didn't press the crapsy button, so I'm sorry. The 20 seconds has to go. Come on, crapsy. All right, there's your 5. Okay. I'll press it again. Sorry for the bad rhythm on crapsy there, but here we go. The point is 5. And this is the one. This is the shot right here. This makes or breaks the whole lecture right here. This makes or breaks the entire. If I don't throw a you know what right here, we can have a nice conversation. If I throw you know what here, I have to fake it all, and nobody likes a faker. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Five. Ooh, we did it. Okay, go. And it's the points. We can actually relax for a minute too. 4, 1, 5. All right, 1, 4, and a 1, 4. Cool. I'll let you get your bets in while I talk. So let's go to the other screen here, and let me show you where I'm at. So that's going to pay 70. We'll do 75 for 5. So 75 for 5. Okay. Now the next bet, the next press is 110. So from this point, I have my 440 back and $100 in profit, right? The question is, do I take one more hit at $70 and then do the thing? Let's analyze that. If I take this profit over here, let's pretend we get another, we stay where we are, we get one more hit. We get one more $70 hit, $50, $70 hit, okay? And then we say, press the inside 110. I would have $60 in profit, right? If we don't do that, if we just keep where we were, which is the $100, okay? If we just keep the $100 and I say, you know what? We're gonna drop in 10 and do the inside press. That next hit pays 105. And let me actually pay it like this. I'm gonna pay it weird. I'm gonna pay 25 like this. We're gonna pay it 105 like that. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing that is we can put the thing back, right? There goes, there's the 140 or the 440, and I would have 70, 85 in profit, right? So tomato, tomato. Really. It's not that big of a difference to either press now, right away, and be out of here with 85 to the good after the press pays the first time, or take the $70 the first time. You're right within $15 or so, right? It doesn't really matter. I would rather get to that second tier quicker because I want two $100 hits. So I'm going to do it like that, right? We're going to go. So we were at 440. Where was I at? I was at I know where I was now. I was at 440 plus the quarter, right? And we just got paid our $70. That's where we are. Is that right? No, we had $100. I'm sorry. We had $100. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the 10 and press it up right now. Again, it's a difference of some nickels, really. And I'm fine with that. But again, you do it your way, right? If you want to take the extra one, the extra hit before the next level, I don't know. I mean, whatever. Here we go. Let's come out. Let's get to a new point. Yeah, you're not in profit if you press. We were good before the press for sure, right? But now we're saying, yeah, we're going to be down basically $10 is the way this works out. Hopefully, though, the next hit gets it right back, right? If we don't squiggle it out here and die on the vine right away, then we'll be in good shape. And really, then it becomes on the next set of hits, what do we do, right? I think the same question. That was where's my freaking dice? That was come on, heart 8, 4-4. The same question is going to come up here on this next one. If we catch, let's say we catch 2 more hits, right? On the third hit, do we go to 440 or the fourth hit to 440? That's really going to be the next. And again, you can answer that question for yourselves, I suppose, right? How fast you want to scoot up there. Here we go. Let's stay hot. There's a 6, 5-1. The mixer, 5-1. I forgot the craftsy button again. Damn it. I keep forgetting to press craftsy before I throw the dice. So I will find my rhythm again. I promise you. I promise you. Here we go. 5-1. Okay. Booyah. That'll pay 105. Just going to collect it. That's the first one. Remember the old tier pressure? I pressed up every single time. The old tier pressure was press, 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 and then collect on the fourth one. It was a little too much. This one here is collect, 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 and then press up. So we're being a way more conservative on this version of it, which I like. And you're not chasing one number around. You're just kind of being easy with it. So, all right, there's the first one. We're on a point of 8, right? Yeah. That's going to be another 8. That's the point being hit. 6-2. 6-2-8. Good, good, good. All right. Oh, shit. I didn't change the screen again. Sorry. 105. Collect. That's 2. Puck is going to be off. Here come the dice. Let's press that button, and we'll get a new point. Coming out. Here we go. Seven on the come out. How well timed are these, right? I got to pull the 440 back. I didn't pull this money back in the rack. I'm sorry. That should be here with the rest of our money. I just left it out there. That was a 6-1. All right, we're still 2 hits into this level. All right. What a great throw. What a great throw. 4-2. 4-2-6. All right. Let's move the puck over to the 6. And here we go. We got us a point. We got us a point. Let's make this work. Love to get to another level. Wouldn't it be great to get one more level? Get to 440, have some fun. It'd be awesome. That's going to be a 10. 6-4. We're not on that. It's our first 4 or 10, I think, during a point cycle that we've had this whole day. They've both been the point, but we've never hit them during the rolls before. So, crap! I keep going up. Why not go up a unit every time? Because Dan, what I'm trying to do is be more frequently collecting bigger numbers. We're bringing back blacks every single time. I'm trying to keep that rhythm of collecting blacks or collecting whatever every single hit. Maybe later at a higher level, you can consider doing that. But for right now, I just want to get money in the rack, right? We're going to be same betting at each level. And it's easy. For the dealers, it's super easy, right? And for you as a player, also very easy. There's the 7. Again, they kissed, shitty throw, 5-2. But we made $200 on the shooter, 5-2-7. So after getting the next level up, the 2 collects, everything from that time becomes profit. Everything you pull back after the first level is just locking it up, right? That's the part I like. Again, there's some issues with when to press and how many times, but for right now, we're doing good. All right, let's get our rack reset here and see where we are. I think we might be at a paycheck. Actually, those reds, let me come in here. I'll show you the rack. So these reds here, that's 5 reds. That's a green. And the blacks that I've got, there's 5 blacks. That's a purple. That's your starting bankroll. There's $260. So again, 260, if you take away the 120 that we fired up on the 4 and 10 earlier, the move itself generated 240 plus 120. So 360. So that's okay. I wouldn't call it a paycheck yet. We can do one more shooter. Let's do one more shooter. Just have some fun with it. I'll drop $500. Let's get 5 blacks. And we'll do, here's 450 with 10 change. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get this over here and that over there, and let's do it. Let's come on out. I'll get the bet set first, I guess, right? And then we'll come out. There's 4, 4, 4, and 4. All right, we're set. There's the 440. There's the 440. I think on bubble craps, by the way, it's $4, then $3, then $2, and then you're gonna press $1, right on the inside. It's bubble craps. You can bubble craps this thing for all day. Have a splendid time, right? For a $16 investment. Here we go. We're coming out. Let's catch a new point. Our last point of the day. We're gonna be done after the shooter. So if you're the rail dumping type, the box just announced last shooter closing the table. Here we go. I can't see. That's a 5, 6, yo. Mid-mo, yo. Pay the line, take the don't. Come out winner. 5, 6, yo. Good field. All right. Okay. Still coming out. Oh, 8. Not a great throw. Not a great throw. I don't like when they skitter because they kiss like that. There's the 8. That's a 5 or 6-2. 6-2-8. Oh, I didn't have the screen change. I'm sorry, folks. Let's see. 6-5, 6-2. Okay. That is set. Crapsy is set. Let's change to the landing zone, and here we go. Here we go. That's a 4-3-7. There's your PSO. We're gonna do one more shooter because I can't end my day on a PSO. 3-4-7. That will kill every strategy, obviously. Nothing you can do about that, right? No matter what we're doing, pressing wise, the 4-3 takes me money every single time if it's a PSO. That sucks. So 440 out there. I'm just gonna drop another $500, okay, and get 60 change. Just to make it easy. Same bet. There's my 60 change. And we need to recover. We need to get some, we need to do some work here. Otherwise, we'll be down for the day. All right. I think we're set. Coming out. Hard 4. Deuces. Deuces wild. Mark the 4. There it is. 2-2. The double D-gen, or the double D and double deuce. Here we go. Let's get our hits. Let's get our hits. Yeah, so I could stay at level 2, right? And there's a good point, Dan. Let's actually talk about that in a minute. Let me get to level 2, and we'll talk about it. I think that's a great point that you're making there. Love it. Maybe that's the first adjustment that we make. Maybe that's our first adjustment. Here we go. Let's make it a problem. Let's get there first, right? There's our midnight 6-6. Let's rock a tall this time, huh? What do you think? We got the small in the first shooter, right? Let's get the tall this time. All right, coming out. Here we go. 5-3. That's an 8. That's an 8. That's great. 5-3-8. Sweet. So that'll pay again 140. We can actually do I'll do 150 for 10. 150 for 10 out of my rack. And we'll bring it all down, of course. One level. Now we're at 330. There's 100. All right. 250 back. Half of our PSO loss is back. We have to get another 250 in the rack to fully recover from that previous loss. But then we'll talk about what Dan wanted to talk about, which I think is a great potential move. I think Jen was alluding to it, but I think Dan's a little more aggressive with what he's saying for tier 1. So let's look at tier 1 once we finish up this part of it. Here we go. I don't mind pressing the lazy numbers. I really don't mind the blind inside pressing. Again, I'm not a believer in one number being sniped. I'm a believer in being in a pocket, right? I'm looking for the inside pocket. I don't know which one's going to happen, right? So I'd rather just spread it out, make them all more valuable. And again, the way that we're same betting, I think makes good sense. There's another 10. 6-4-10, good field. 6-4-10, easy 10. It was actually representative of a perfect throw from the stack toss perspective. All right, let's go. Let's go. That's a 6, a 4, and a 2. Sweet. 4, 2, 6. 4, 2. Big number first. Okay, good deal. Let's go pay the 6 and bring the bets. Now, here's where we're going to talk about Dan's initial idea. So check it out. We're going to, I'll switch screens here. So we're going to get paid on that 6, the 105. That gets us out of the hand. Okay, now we're actually out of the hand. We have our money back, which is sweet. Let's make that a black. All righty, so we're here. The next hit is the profit hit, the $70. Now, what we can do here, and this is a suggestion that I think is a good one, is let's get that, make that a quarter. I'm going to color this rack as I go here. The suggestion is right now we're at this first level, right? We're at the $70 level. Before we go to the 330, which I've been going, take the 70, go to 330 at this point. Let's make this 3 hits at here. We'll do 75 for 5 3 times and then move up, right? We'll take this as our first level. Instead of jumping to 330s too fast, we can just take our 3 hits right here, right? And then move up. So we'll take 3 $70 hits and then we'll jump up, okay? Yeah, I can't know which, so I guess, JR. That's how I look at it. Since I don't know which one's going to happen, I guess, and I press them all a little bit, so we have an equal chance of making an okay little bit of juice. All right, 6-3. That's always my answer to the why bet across or why bet inside or why press them all. If you don't know what's coming, get juice on everything, right? Or get out completely. Here we go. Here we go. Let's level it up. Let's level it up. Oh, yeah, I can't see it. 5, 3, 8. Okay, sweet. So here we go. We'll take the Dan and Jen approach here. 5, 3, 8. And we'll basically take 3 hits here. So we'll do 75 for 5 on that 8. So there's, out of my rack, $5. Out of the bank is 75. We'll do 75 for 5. And I'll do that 3 times. And after the third one, we'll go to the next level. So we'll consider this our first level of same betting. We'll do 3 and then we'll move up. That way it's a little safer. We're locking the profit in and then we go up. So we'll do actually multiple hits, not just an extra hit. Just consider this the first level. I think that's what Dan and Jen are both kind of saying is make this level 1. Don't make 330 level 1, which is what I was trying to do earlier. Maybe just a little bit too quick on the draw. I said I can be convinced. Let's try it out. See what happens. I'm not going to press the 8x30. I'm not doing that. This is tearing up the entire bet, right? So think of it this way. Actually, let me throw the dice here, and then when I come back, I'll explain why I think this is the best way to do it. Not pressing single numbers. Here we go. That's a 4. Hey, look at the outside numbers, right? That's the point. That's a point hit. 3-1. Yeah. I'll take that. Somehow my screen got really dim. There we go. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we're coming out. Let's get this puck off. And here we go. We're coming out. Let's see, 6-3. Looks like a midnight to me. 6, 6, 12. I think we already had that one, right? What's missing up top? The 9 and the 11. We haven't rolled very many 9s today, it seems like, right? All right, coming out, still coming out. 6, 3, and a 4 and a 1. All right, here we go. Dan said I'll invest 4 units to win 3 units. Well, I'm taking, basically, when 3 hits at a level pays at a level, right? So 3 times 7 is 21. I got 220 out there. So 3 hits is what it's a 100% profit, right? In 3 hits. Why press the 9? Because again, I don't know. I may throw a 9. Again, I don't believe in trends, right? So I'm hoping that I'm in somewhere in this pocket. I don't know what's going to come, so I give them all an equal chance. It's the reason why I do it. There's no math to it. There's no nothing to it. It just, you don't know. It's a random world. So that's how I'm choosing to play the thing. 4 is the point. When you don't know, you spread it out. Here we go. Like I said, in this roll here, look at this roll that we've got, right? What's repeated? The 8, right? The only thing that's been a repeat is 8. I got the 8, the 6, the 8, the 4, the 10. Everything's happened in one time, right? So we're spreading it out. That's the reason why I spread it out. Well, you know why, Dan. You know exactly why. Right? I'm not trying to snipe numbers. I'm trying to be in this area, right? I'm trying to be somewhere in here. I don't want to snipe, or I do want to snipe the 9 if I could, but I'm not trying to get one number. I'm trying to get a group of numbers to show consistently. So within that group, I don't know what's going to come, but I want to be in the group. So I give the group the equal chance to profit for me. That's the reason why, right? You're looking at clusters of numbers here, not single numbers as a thing. Again, everybody has a different approach to it, and there's ways that I play that are very focused on one number, as you know. This system here doesn't do that, and again, I'll explain the thinking behind it after the roll ends. We'll go back to the small table. There's a 3-5, and I'll really go through it because I think it's important that you get inside my head sometimes. That's going to be, and again, 75 for 5. Our second 75 for 5. Same bet. Same bet. Same bet. I want you to think about Jacob's way, right? Everybody loves Jacob's way of doing that hybrid where you take the next bet, right? And you keep putting money towards the next bet. We love that way of playing, right? So imagine that I've got my next bet is 220, right? Let's just take a look at that. Let's go here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. My next bet is, again, this is the Jacob hybrid way, right? The next bet's, I put the 220 aside, right? So what I just collected is 75 for 5 and 75 for 5 twice, right? If I keep one and I say the one's for the next time, and I keep one, I get 75 for 5 a third time, okay? Now I can say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put half of it here and some of it over here. The next bet is 320, right? Or 330 rather, 325, 330. I leverage up what I won in that sequence to the next bet, and it goes out there. And then I say to myself, okay, cool. I got some profit. My next bet is going to be 320 or 330. When that wins 105, I'll add it to the next bet, and I'll keep some. The next 105, I'll split it. We'll say half goes here, half goes in profit, and my next bet is 440. So you're leveraging the win every time. Think of it as, this is my bet, same bet, same bet, same bet. The next time I make the same kind of bet, I have more money to do it with. So you're leveraging the win exactly how Jacob does his hybrid strategy. I'm just not putting the money aside in my rack and being that diligent about it. We're doing it visually. We're doing it kind of like 3 hits and the next level goes up. It's the same thing as putting aside money and saying next bet's gonna be 220 plus whatever I win. And the next time it's gonna be 330 plus whatever I win, or half of what I win. That's kind of how we're doing it. So we're taking half of what we win in 3 rolls, using it as leverage the next time. So we're always leveraging up the next time. We're just doing it within the same shooter. That's kind of how that works. I hope that makes sense, right? And that's why I changed this from what it used to be to what it is now, because I'm trying to follow that, and I think it's genius what Jacob does, right? I think it's a genius way of looking at leveraging your wins to the next bet. Right now, my bet is 220. My next bet's gonna be 220 plus part of what I won, right? Plus part of this. these 275s plus the next 75 becomes the next bet. 220 plus whatever's in here. That's why we leverage it up. And that's how the math on that thing works. It's literally right out of Jacob's playbook. Here we go. Let's stay clean. 6-5 yo. Is that the tall? I don't think so. I think we're missing a number, right? 6-5. What's missing? The 9. The 9 is missing. 6-5. Come on, let's get a 9. Let's get a 9. Make everybody happy. Let's get that 9 right here. Here we go. It's all guessing. Everything's a guess. Dice out. 8. That's another one. Awesome job, Johnny. 5-3. Good. All right. 5-3-8. Let's go bet. So that'll pay again 75 for 5. Actually, I'll just do $70. We'll do 50, $70. Okay. There's the 70. Now again, I've got from the previous wins on this level another 150, right? So here comes again, our bet is 220, right? Plus part of what we've already won. Let's just put that little bit of it out there. We'll lock up 110 and we'll press 110. So I'm going to keep half and play half. My next bets are 330. So the next series is 330 plus part of what I'm about to win. That's the wager me this way of using leverage. I think it's great. I'm going to spread that out so you can see it. I think it's great. I love that way of thinking. And that's why we're going to the next tier, $300. The next tier is the $400. But we're going to same bet our way through it as we go. We're going to same bet to lock profit in the whole time. But I'm predetermined to only go up by 110, not going up by the full thing, because I want to make sure we're locking up more and more and more as we go. That's why we're doing it. Yeah. Here we go. I want to get one more tier out of this thing. I would love to get to tier 4. If we can get to tier 4, it'd be fantastic. Another 8, 6-2. The 6-2-8s are popping right now, by the way. You should be hopping the 6-2. 6-2-8. 6-2. Nice. That'll pay 105. And again, if you look at the rack, there's the 105. I'm just gonna, that's hit number 1, 2, and then we go up. Try and win about 2/3 of what's out there. I really want to get one more level. I want to get the 440 so bad, just to see how that increases the rack pressure. Here we go. That looks like a 3, a 2, and a 1. All righty. 2, 1. No 5, no 9. Interesting. I wonder if this, because it's a 2V set. I don't know dice sets well enough to know. I wonder if it's because it's a 2V set that the 9s and 5s are sort of like diminished or something. We should take a look at that afterwards. All right, 6-3 and a 4-1. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, huge hit. 3-1-4. That's the point. 3-1-4. Good. Four has been the point twice, and we hit it both times. That's cool. Waiting for Crap to give me the screen to type it in. All right, there's your 4. We're coming out, new point. Same shooter, new point. All right, 6-3, 4-1. Let's rock it. Six, 5-1. Mark it up. 5-1. All right, here we go. Here we go. 6, 3, 4, 1. Ow. All right, dice are out. Out in the point of 6. Ugh, not a good throw. Not a good throw, and it's a freaking 7. Damn it. Huge bummer, man. We haven't gotten the next level. That would have been so cool to get there. But let me take care of the rack first, and then we'll look at what the next level could look like for us. I just want to see so you can all see what I'm in my head picturing. So we're gonna lose what's out here, the 330. I do like the staying at that early level longer as a thing. All right, that's 5 reds. That's a green. That's 4 greens. That's a black. And on the blacks, we've got 5 and 5. That's $1,000. We recovered that PSO, and we have $50 in profit. So there we are. We got the $50 in profit. So we recovered back that big loss, that PSO. Great. We made $500 on that shooter effectively. We actually made $570 on that shooter, which is cool. Yeah, let's take a look at the set. I'm going to take a look here. Here's the set I'm using. It's actually it's this. It's a 6-3 and it's a 4 and a 1. So for me, it looks like this, but the actual set is that on its side, right? There is a 5 in the set, right? Like if you look at right here, the 5 is right on top, and I've got the 9 right there, but I'm stacking them, right? So when I stack them, if my dice are staying kind of in the stack, like the 6 seems to be the hot number for me. The bottom 6 is the good one. So when I have the 6, I can't get a 5, right? And if this die doesn't stay on the top or bottom, I can't get a 9. So the top die is doing this, and I'm getting yos and midnights and 8s. That's what I'm getting, and a lot of 6-1-7s. The bottom die is sticking on the 6 a lot, and that's what's happening to me. So I think that's how we're hiding them. Anyway, let's go and take a look at something really quick, though. I want you to take a look. You're saying missed opportunity. Sure. Let me go to the other screen. I'm going to go to here. Let's go back over to this view. I'm going to walk around the table. So give me a second to do so. This is a system that's anti what most people do. And I think that's why, Dan, you're having such a hard reaction to it, right? Most people will press the number that's coming. This one isn't a cross press. So I want you to just take a look. Let's get to here. Let's get to the 330. And I'll show you what my thought process is. And again, this is just saying, what if I was going to be this guy? What if I was going to be the guy that just said, I'm going to bet 330 inside. That's my move. And I'm going to same bet it forever. Right? Not going to press, just going to collect $105 and $105 and $105, right? Effectively, you're out, right? You got 315 versus 330, right? 3 hits, and you've kind of got yourself covered. Now, if you look at it this way, and let's say that, again, when we know that we're here, we already have our money. We're already playing. This is all profit. We're already playing with profit. We already got our money back from the drawdown. And so I've got 205 there, and I've got the 110 sitting here. I'm going to put the 110 out there at play. Now we're at 4. I'll put the bets kind of in front here. We're at 440 now, right? So at 440, I could say, yeah, let's press the 8, press the 8, press the 8. Most people do that. This one here is saying to you, well, our level was 330. We took some hits and we went up a little bit. Now we're going to say our level is 440. I'm going to take, again, 140 once, 140 twice, 140 3 times. And we're going to level up again and say, you know what? From 330, we're going to go another 110. Actually, I'll take the greens. Did I miss a green? I did. No. We're going to go 110. We're going to keep all this. Go 110 again. So my next bet is 110, now it's 110 bigger. 440, same bet, same bet. So you see how we did that? So here we brought back this time 1, 2, $300. Right? We were out there for 330. We saved 330, and we go by 110. Now watch what happens on this time. I'll do the exact same thing. We're gonna make this look like the right color. There's 300 and whatever. We go up by another 110. Okay, so now we're at the big bird level. This is going to be, let me go fix these up for you. 125, 125, and 150. Watch what happens here. 175 once, 175 twice, 175 3 times. I'm going to go up by another 110. There's $15, right? And let's see, that's 175. There's 110 for that. And guess what comes back? Right? 1, 2, 3, $400. Right? We bring back 400 and change, and we're going up by 110. Every time the move comes and pulls itself off, it brings back almost the entire thing you have out here as profit, and then goes up a level. And now we're at 660 inside. 210, 210, 210, 210, right? So 210 3 times going up by 110, I'm going to save $500, right? Every 3 rolls, you basically double up what's out here. If you're thinking about it that way, that's the thought process, right? I'm not worrying about what's happening, right? As a player, I don't have to think about my press. It's 3 hits and up 110. It's 3 hits and up 110. And 3 hits and that's all you got to do. The dealers, it's an easy press. For you, it's collect. You're always putting money in the rack. There's no power pressing, except for the very first one. There's no power pressing. There's no craziness. It's just collect, 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 cross press. Collect, 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 a cross press. We can call it lazy pressing if we want to. Maybe it is. But at the end of the day, you're always putting money in the rack, which is always should be our goal. And you're profiting meaningful money, which also is always our goal. And in the first 3 rolls, you're out, right? 3 rolls in, and you're totally out. Let's go back over here again. So that's what I like about it, right? There's things to like and things to not like. So to me, it's a leverage play. It's like take my wins, go back out with the same bet with a little bit of extra. Take my wins, go back out, same bet, a little bit extra. So you're leveraging the win, but you're also keeping some back, right? You're keeping profit, but also pushing some back out there. And again, I'm not targeting a number to take a number to table max here. This is one that's just kind of like spread them out, spread them out, spread them out, spread them out. Super easy. That's the point of it. So again, not for everybody. I totally get that, but it's a nice, simple way to get through it. It's not high risk. It's not high reward, but it's a reliable reward. Does that make sense? So anyway, there it is. That would actually be great on bubble craps, frankly. So, all right, let's go check any questions that I've missed, and then I'm going to go to work. Oh, it's a long day today, huh? Q. Any questions that are missing? No. How about any PCs that I missed? I think I got most everything during the show. So there we go. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's it. So my final thoughts are going to be this, and I'll leave this up here every day because I think it's a good way to close the shows out. Final thoughts on this strategy. I think it checks some of the boxes here, right? Smart bettors to me, right? Reduce your risk as soon as possible. This one here goes from 440 to 330 to 220. In 2 rolls, you've got, as you saw, a $25 profit in 2 rolls. You're out of the hand with profit and playing at 220 with profit in 2 rolls. That's great. That checks the first box, right? We lock up profit as soon as possible. We did. We locked up $25 right away. Love it. We use leverage as a hammer. I wouldn't call it a big hammer today. We leveraged our wins, right, as a small hammer. As a small hammer. We're leveraging up as we go, but we are using leverage to get it done, okay? Lose a little when you do? No. When we lose on this one, you lose $450. It isn't like you're losing a little bit, you're getting your ass kicked. So that doesn't check that box at all. When we win, do we win a lot? We win a reliable amount. This one, the last two boxes here to me are the weakest boxes in this strategy. It checks them, but not very well, right? We lose a lot when we lose. We win a middle amount, not a huge amount, not a tiny amount when we do win. So first three are strong. The last two are a little weak. Evaluate the strategy as you will. But I think this is a good kind of metric for us to use as we play these things out. As we're doing stuff, look at this kind of stuff here and see what y'all think about that. So, all right. I think that's all I got for you today. So with that said, it's almost 9 o'clock. Can you imagine how long the show went? Love y'all. God bless everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for pushing back. I love the pushback, right? Actually, between Jen and Dan, I think the pushback was perfect. Jen wanted one more hit. Dan, I think I misunderstood you, but I conflated what you both said, and now it's going to be down to 220 and take 3 hits and then level up. I think that's the right way to do it. Make 220 your actual first tier. Wait to level up. I love that. All right. Get out of here. Have a great day. Love y'all. Bye.